Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're testing out Flight Simulator 2024 on PC, running an overclocked MSI Surpim RTX with 80 graphics card and Ryzen 7 900X 3D CPU. So currently I have my GPU overclocked with an additional 330 MHz on the core and 1950 MHz on the memory. First, let's start off by showing you the graphics settings really quickly. So we are running a resolution of 3040 by 2160 on my 4K 144Hz display. We are running DLSS Quality mode, which puts us at a 1440p render resolution. And we are running frame generation as well, so that is going to help boost FPS. And later in the video, we will test out 1440p native without frame gen. And all the other advanced graphics settings are all ultra preset with everything fully maxed out with 150% object level detail and 150% terrain level detail. So all these settings here are individually. Let me make sure this is all the way up. Sometimes these get reset sometimes when you install new graphics cards. Let me make sure that's turned up. Set to 384. Ultra. That should be everything. So we'll go ahead and apply that. And yeah, we'll see how it runs in place. So we are in the Airbus A320. Let me just do one thing. Sometimes when you have frame gen, it bugs out the FPS here. So let me just briefly adjust the resolution here. Let's see if it looks adjusted now. Okay. Yeah, sometimes when you have frame gen, it kind of makes the frames jittery, so we'll go ahead and reset that, so we should be good to go now. I'm sure once we get taken off here, it'll be fine. We're taking off from JFK International Airport, and we're going to fly over New York City, and we'll test the frame per second, and see how everything runs in place. But enjoy the show, guys, and enjoy your flight. Reset the MSI for the overlay. And we'll see what kind of FPS we get. But yeah, Flight Simulator has always been a main staple for me for well over 30 years now. I've always played this title since I was a little child, and I've always enjoyed aviation and airplanes in general. So I always like coming back to this title and obviously benchmarking it on more modern hardware. And so far this MSI Surpim RTX 5080 graphics card has been running very well. And overclocked this high, in some games, it's comparable to a 4090, not all games, but some games. It can match the performance of the 4090. This one I'm not sure about how it compares to the 4090. I know the 4090 has more VRAM, so it does help in some titles. But we're going to head over to the New York skyline to check out the city and see how everything renders and runs. And we'll do our typical benchmark run of flying over Central Park. And just get a nice view of the skyline and see how everything runs in place. Throttle down a little bit here. Go to the cockpit view so everything looks like some of the knobs there are not fully downloaded the high-res version. What happens when you change aircrafts after you're not playing? Oh, there we go. Now we got it. Now we're good. Yeah, sometimes when you change aircrafts after not playing the title for a while, which I haven't played for many months, sometimes when you load a new aircraft, it does take a while to load all the textures and stuff. I think we're good to go now. That's a beautiful jet, though. So it looks like we're averaging around 82 FPS, with 1% lows to think around 40 FPS. This RTX 5080 graphics card. And what we'll do is we'll do a nice little lap around the city. And and we will fly over Central Park, and then we'll lower down the 1440p native without frame gen and DLSS, and we'll see how it runs in place. So just a short little, nice and sweet benchmark of this title. And yeah, we'll see how everything runs in place. Enjoy, guys. The engines seem unusually loud. I don't know if they adjusted the engine sound, but for some reason on my end, on my headset, it's extraordinarily loud. And yeah, it looks like some of the texture details are still kind of loading in. There's a few little sections here that I saw. Looks like they weren't fully loaded in. Gotta remember to go to the cockpit view as well. It's a lot quieter in the cockpit, so maybe I'll show more of the cockpit too, which a lot of the Flight Sim fans prefer when benchmarking. Oh, I love the sound of those engines throttling down like that. It just sounds so awesome. But yeah, I've always been so into aviation. It's just so cool, you know? Being in control of a commercial airliner and flying people to any destination that they wish in the world. I think that's just so amazing to think about, you know? I always wanted to be a pilot when I was a kid, and there's something so peaceful about it, you know? I just like it. Co-pilot just chilling there. So yeah, I like to fly over Central Park. I usually fly nice and low, and all the terrain and vegetation and trees and foliage, it really does bring down the FPS. You'll probably see it will go down a lot lower once we get closer to the ground here. And it's just a good area to benchmark because of all the foliage and trees. It really does help test out the performance. Visually, it looks stunning. Yeah, ran pretty smooth, I'd say. I've always thought Nvidia cards always run Flight Simulator 2024 and all the other ones a lot better. I'm not sure if it's because does have shadow-based ray tracing, but for some reason this always tends to work better on the video card, especially when they have a lot of VRAM. And coming from the 97 DXT, my main issue with playing with that was it was only FSR2, and there was no frame gen available, I don't think, from what I recall, so it wasn't exactly the best situation FPS-wise. Okay, so 4K with DLSS Quality mode, which puts it at a render resolution of 1440p, put us at an average of 84 FPS, 49 FPS, 1% lows, and a max of 100 FPS. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's lower down to 1440p resolution. We'll go ahead and apply that, keep changes, and let's turn DLSS. We'll set it to DLA, that'll be native 1440p, and let's turn off frame gen. Go ahead and apply. And I'll reset the IMS after the overlay here. Now on my screen, my 4K screen, it looks like the visuals definitely took a nosedive in terms of the texture details. But even without frame gen, it still does run pretty smooth, I'd say. I'm gonna get turned around here, and then we'll do another lap around Central Park and the city skyline, and we'll see how it runs in place. But I think 1440p is a pretty good resolution on the 5080. But I'm assuming that you might want to at least run frame gen if you want to maintain a higher FPS. But the thing about Flight Simulator, because it's a simulation title, you really don't need to have like super high FPS to enjoy the title. Like, I'm more than happy of how it plays at 1440p here, even though I'm only maintaining around 40-ish FPS. But it still feels nice and smooth, you know? I think it still runs nice. 41 FPS is more than playable, no doubt. So 30 FPS, 1% lows, and a max of 46 FPS. We'll fly over Central Park here. And then after that, we'll trial DLSS Quality mode without frame gen to see what kind of FPS it will maintain. Lower my altitude here. Yeah, I didn't really match my last run, but we're trying to get a little bit low here towards the end. I brought it down to like 29 FPS low. 1% low. We're on walk now. Those engines are so loud, man. They're just screaming. I don't know if they adjusted the noise of the engine, but for some reason it just sounds louder. I'm not really exactly sure why. Especially on the exterior view. The internal cockpit view is pretty reasonable. So hopefully you guys can still hear me when I'm doing these external views, because on my end it is extraordinarily loud. Like ear-piercingly loud. Okay, so 1440p native, we maintained about 40 FPS. The max of 46 and 29 FPS, 1% lows. Okay, so now let's go back to 4K. Keep changes, and we'll keep frame gen off, and we'll see what kind of FPS we maintain at 4K. Oh, actually, I don't want to run 4K native. I don't think I would do. I don't know if it'll run, but let's see what kind of FPS we get, just out of curiosity. Set the MSI Surpim here, and it looks like we maintain around 40 FPS at 4K data, so not terrible. And then now let's set DLSS to quality mode, apply, resume, reset the afterburner. And I'm not really seeing a significant difference here. It's kind of weird. Let me make sure I applied that. Yeah, it's definitely applied. Huh, interesting. So yeah, I almost want to say you could just run native 4K and still maintain good FPS and not have to lower the render resolution. Again, it's so peaceful in the cockpit. Nice and quiet, nice vibe. And you're in control of so much, you know? It's just so cool. So yeah, I almost want to say just run 4K native and you're probably just fine, because if you see we're getting 42 FPS here. Let me go back to DLA, apply. And you're just a few, yeah, you're almost the same FPS. So hell yeah, just run 4K native without frame gen and you got a pretty good experience still without having to run DLSS. Now the big test will be to fly over Central Park here to see what kind of FPS we get. This is where it's probably going to dip pretty low, I think. So down to the 30s for a brief moment there. And an average of 42 FPS at 4K native. Without any DLSS, so pretty cool. very good. Very good performer, no doubt. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy the video, do give this video a like. If you want to see more content like this, more MSI Surpim RTX 5080 graphics card benchmarks along with my Ryzen 7 9800X 3D CPU, feel free to subscribe. So thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support. Following this video, we're going to be testing out Stalker 2 Harder Chernobyl, so stay tuned for that video following this presentation. And we'll take things from there. But yeah, we'll still keep making videos. And as always, I appreciate everybody's support. And yeah, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. I'll bring to you Flight Simulator 2024 on PC at several different resolutions and DLSS Quality presets. Thanks for watching. See you guys around. I'll try to get a thumbnail here. Get a nice view of the city. And we'll take things there. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.